welcome to this explainer. Today, we're going to completely reframe how you look at some of the absolute most misunderstood creatures on our planet. Yep, we're talking about spiders. Now, if your very first instinct when you hear that word is to grab a rolled up newspaper, stick with me here. By the end of this journey, you're going to see them not as creepy pests, but as these highly specialized, incredibly diverse ecological marvels.
Okay, let's dive into this. Think all spiders just spin webs in the corner? That question gets right to the heart of our baseline assumption about these guys. When most of us picture a spider, we picture a creature sitting quietly in the center of a dusty web in the corner of a garage, just waiting. But what if I told you that entire families of spiders have completely abandoned webs altogether? What if some hunt like cats, while others literally walk on water?
To really get their true superpowers, we first have to grasp the sheer, mind-blowing scale of spider diversity. 45,000. That is the number of described spider species across the globe, and they're grouped into over 120 different families. The order Araneae is just this massive, sprawling family tree of evolutionary ingenuity.
So, to make sense of all this, we're going to take a structured tour grouped by their incredible survival strategies. We'll explore, meet the webmasters, the agile ground hunters, giants and water walkers, medically significant spider families, and finally, Earth's eight-legged wonders. Let's get started.
Section 1. Meet the webmasters, architects of the Araneae.
When you think spider, these classic architects probably come to mind first. But even within the web builders, the engineering strategies are wildly different. On one side, we have the Araneae family, better known as the orb weavers. These are the spiders spinning those classic, beautiful, symmetrical circular webs with radial threads. You'll find garden spiders and golden silk weavers in this group. They're found worldwide and honestly are generally completely harmless to humans. But contrast that with the Theridiidae family, the cobweb or tingleweb spiders. They don't build neat circles. They build irregular, messy, three-dimensional tangles of sticky threads. And while it might look kind of unorganized, it's highly effective. In fact, this family includes some of the most medically significant spiders out there, like the notorious black widows.
But, not all webmasters are large or even noticeable. Take the Lymphidiae family, known as the sheet weavers. This is actually one of the most species-rich families of all, yet most of its members are completely overlooked just because they are so incredibly tiny. They build flat, horizontal sheet webs right close to the ground or in low vegetation. In Europe, they actually have this fantastic nickname, money spiders. According to folklore, if one of these tiny spiders landed on you, it was considered good luck.
Section 2. The Agile Ground Hunters, Eyesight and Speed.
All right, we're executing a hard pivot here. Forget the sticky webs and the waiting games. Let's look at how the Saltaceae family, the jumping spiders, operate. First of all, this is the single largest spider family, boasting over 6,000 species. They're compact, they're fuzzy, but their defining trait is their vision. They have 4 large, forward-facing eyes. Because of this excellent vision, they don't use webs to hunt at all. Instead, they stalk their prey, literally like miniature cats, carefully calculating their distance before pouncing. This family also gives us the famous peacock spiders of Australia, the Miratus genus, which are known for their brilliantly colorful iridescent mating displays.
Sharing the ground with them is the Lycosidae family, better known to us as wolf spiders. These are robust, really fast-moving hunters that physically chase down their prey. Their excellent eyesight is perfectly adapted for this active lifestyle, and in fact, their eyes will actually reflect light at night. But what makes wolf spiders truly unique is their parental care. Unlike most spiders that, just lay their eggs and leave, a female wolf spider will attach her egg sac directly to her spinnerets. When the spiderlings hatch, they climb right up and ride on her back until they're ready to hunt on their own. It's a fascinating, highly unusual maternal behavior in the spider world.
Moving right along to Section 3. Giants and water walkers pushing the limits. Now let's escalate the scale and totally defy our normal expectations. Meet the absolute giants of the spider world, the Theraphacidae family, universally known as tarantulas. These are large, hairy, tropical and subtropical spiders, and they are surprisingly long-lived. Get this, some female tarantulas can live an astounding 20 to 30 years. This family includes the Goliath bird eater, which actually holds the record as the largest spider in the world by mass. But here's the fascinating thing about tarantulas. Despite their fearsome horror movie reputation, most of them are actually quite harmless to humans.
So what's truly fascinating is how these giants actually defend themselves, considering their venom isn't really all that dangerous to us. Well, many New World tarantula species have developed an incredible physical defense mechanism called urticating hairs. These are barbed hairs located right on their abdomen. When threatened, the tarantula uses its back legs to rapidly flick a cloud of these tiny, irritating bristles into the air, which causes severe discomfort to the eyes and respiratory tracts of predators. It's an absolutely ingenious defense that doesn't even rely on a bite. From the giants of the jungle floor, we move straight to the water's edge with the Pissaridae family, the fishing spiders. These semi-aquatic hunters have a truly amazing survival process. Step 1, they literally walk on the surface tension of the water. Step 2, if necessary, they can dive directly beneath the surface. Step 3, they use these skills to catch small fish and aquatic insects. And finally, Step 4, when it's time to reproduce, the female carries her egg sac in her jaws, her chelicerae, until they hatch. At that point, she builds a protective nursery web over the vegetation to keep her spiderlings safe.
Section 4. Medically Significant Spider Families, Science and Survival. Now, while most spiders are completely harmless, we do need to use precise science to understand the few that possess highly potent chemical defenses. A really key example is the Sicariidae family, known as the recluse spiders. The famous brown recluse is in this group, easily identifiable by that distinctive violin-shaped marking on its cephalothorax. The danger here lies in a very specific venom component called sphingomyelinase D. This enzyme is what can cause necrotic tissue damage, meaning it essentially breaks down cellular tissue. However, it's absolutely crucial to remember their name, recluse. They strongly prefer dark, dry, undisturbed environments and generally want absolutely nothing to do with us.
When we compare these medically significant families side by side, the chemical diversity is just staggering. We just discussed the Sicariidae and their necrotic venom, but look at the Atricidae family, the funnel-web spiders found primarily in eastern Australia. The Sydney funnel-web produces a neurotoxic venom that is uniquely and highly potent specifically to primates. And then we have the Ctenidae family, the wandering spiders. Roaming the tropical forest floors at night, the Brazilian wandering spider actually holds the record for having the most medically significant spider venom in the entire world. So that's 3 different families with 3 vastly different, highly specialized chemical defenses.
Which brings us to our final section, Section 5, Earth's 8-legged wonders, the big picture.
We've zoomed in on the intricate details of distinct families today, but zooming back out builds a massive overall appreciation for these creatures. As the quote notes, spiders are the 7th most species-rich animal order on Earth. Just let that sink in for a second. We just toured 10 families, from the massive, long-lived tarantulas to the tiny sheet-weaving money spiders, from aquatic fish hunters to visually acute jumpers. And yet, those 10 families are just a tiny fraction of a massive, globally diverse population. Their evolutionary success is staggering.
So, I want to leave you with this question. Out of all these unique survival strategies we've looked at today, which one completely changed the way you view spiders? Whether it's the maternal care of the wolf spider or a tarantula flicking barbed hairs, spiders are undeniably some of the most fascinating engineers and athletes in the animal kingdom. The next time you see one, hopefully, you won't just see a pest, you'll see a tiny, highly specialized survivor. Thanks for joining me on this explanation. Keep exploring and keep learning.